Pause. Do not rush to sleep yet. If you are hearing this right now, understand something clearly. This moment was written for you. Out of millions of voices, millions of videos, and millions of distractions, you are here. Not by accident, not by curiosity, but by permission. Tonight is not an ordinary night, and this is not an ordinary reminder. Before you sleep, Allah wanted you to see this. You may feel tired, you may feel empty, you may feel like life has been pulling you in every direction. And yet, here you are. That quiet pull you felt to click this video, that heaviness in your chest you couldn't explain. That is not random. That is your heart responding to a call it has been ignoring for too long. Allah does not always wake people up with hardship. Sometimes He wakes them up with a reminder. And tonight, this reminder is for you. But before we continue, take a moment to support this message. Subscribe to this channel so more hearts can receive reminders like this, and so you never miss one that could change your life. Every believer reaches a moment of awakening, a moment where the soul quietly asks, am I truly living or am I just existing? You wake up, you work, you scroll, you sleep. Days turn into weeks and weeks turn into years. And somewhere in between, the heart becomes tired, not because of lack of success, not because of lack of money, but because of distance from Allah. Your soul was never created for constant noise. It was created for remembrance. That restlessness you feel at night, that overthinking when the lights go off, that sudden awareness of your flaws, that is your soul speaking. And Allah allows the soul to speak loudest right before sleep. Because sleep is a rehearsal for the moment when the soul may not return. Ask yourself gently and honestly, if Allah took my soul tonight, would I be satisfied with what I am returning to Him? This question is not meant to frighten you. It is meant to wake you. Because the ones who wake up change their direction. Let me ask you something simple. If someone you deeply loved was leaving tomorrow forever, would you delay speaking to them? Then why delay returning to Allah? There is a truth most people avoid at night. Sleep is not guaranteed. Every night Allah takes the soul, and every morning He decides whether to return it. You plan tomorrow, you assume tomorrow, but tomorrow is never promised. How many people lay down to rest never knowing it was their final sleep? This reminder is not meant to push you into fear. It is meant to pull you away from delay, because the most dangerous lie the soul tells itself is this: I will fix things later. Later is uncertain. Later is fragile. But tonight is real. Right now, Allah is giving you awareness. And awareness is a gift many people never receive. If your heart feels heavy with sins, that means it is still alive. If you feel regret, that means Allah is still calling you. The worst state is not sin. The worst state is indifference, and you are not indifferent. That is why you are here. Do not ignore this moment. Moments like this can shape destinies. And before we continue, if this reminder is touching your heart, subscribe and share it. You never know who else might need to hear this tonight. Now listen carefully. After fear, Allah always opens a door, because Allah is not waiting to punish you. He is waiting for you to return. No matter how far you think you have gone, no matter how heavy your past feels, no matter how many nights you slept without remembering Him, Allah's mercy is closer than your own heartbeat. The fact that you are hearing this right now is already a sign of mercy. If Allah wanted to leave you lost, He would not have reminded you. That softness in your chest, that regret, that quiet hope, that is mercy. Allah loves those who return to Him, not the ones who never fall, but the ones who come back. And returning does not require perfect words. Tonight, before you sleep, you can speak to Allah honestly. You can say, Ya Allah, I'm tired. Ya Allah, I tried and failed. Ya Allah, I forgot you, but I do not want to forget you anymore. And Allah listens, not tomorrow, not later, right now. Imagine this moment. The world is quiet. Your body is resting. Your heart is open. This is the moment when dua rises to the sky without resistance. This is the moment when angels are near. This is the moment when sins can be erased without witnesses. You do not need to impress Allah. You only need to be sincere. And sincerity tonight can change your tomorrow. But there is one mistake many people make at this stage. They feel hope, and then they fall asleep without intention. And that changes everything. Because Islam is not built on emotions alone. It is built on intention. What you intend tonight can shape who you become tomorrow. Most people sleep unconsciously, but a believer sleeps with purpose. Before your eyes close tonight, set this intention in your heart. Ya Allah, if you return my soul tomorrow, I will live closer to you than I did today. That is all. Not perfection, not impossible promises, just direction. Allah does not ask you to change your entire life overnight. He only asks you to take one step toward Him. And when you take one step, He comes toward you faster than you expect. Tonight, choose who you want to wake up as, someone who keeps delaying or someone who finally decided, someone who sleeps with regret or someone who sleeps with trust. Remember this, the way you sleep often shapes the way you wake. If you sleep remembering Allah, your heart wakes protected. If you sleep repenting, your soul wakes lighter. If you sleep intending change, your path begins to change, even if slowly. Never underestimate small intentions. In the sight of Allah, they carry enormous weight. So before you drift into sleep tonight, ask yourself one final question. If Allah gives me tomorrow, what will I do differently because of this night? Hold that question in your heart. Let it follow you into sleep. Because sometimes Allah plants the seed at night so it can grow in the morning. And if this reminder reached your heart, subscribe to this channel and share it with someone you care about. Because a single reminder at the right moment can change a life forever.